discovered that can help you manage your symptoms and really fuel you to the core. These are for the omnivores out there, but there are plant-based swabs for every animal protein item. So I'll talk about those as I go along. Number 1 is yams and sweet potatoes. And these foods are absolutely incredible. Plus, they're so tasty. They're fiber-filled and they help you feel full longer. And because of their impact on blood sugar, they can help you balance your mood easily. A study has actually shown that yams have an estrogenic effect on women. Not to mention that they can also reduce the risk of breast cancer and cardiovascular disease in postmenopausal women. You can substitute bread with a toasted slice of yam in the morning and layer it up with avocado, flaxseed, and other hormone-healthy ingredients. And my overstuffed sweet potatoes were a favorite on the hit show, The Doctors. I showed them how to make them, and they went crazy for them. So you can find that recipe and so many others in my book, Eat Like You Give a Fork, The Real Dish on Eating to Thrive. Number 2 is leafy greens. I mean, I talk about these a lot, but here we go with the wondrous powers of our leafy friends. Again, I just can't tell you how much these nutrient-dense foods can help you and your condition. They help to alkalize your diet, meaning they help to create homeostasis in our bodies. And isn't that the ultimate goal? Balance. Leafy greens are full of countless phytonutrients too, and anti-inflammatory properties. Plus, they're super hydrating, and hydration for your balance is very, very important. Every cellular function in your body requires it. So just me sitting here talking to you means I'm using water. Swiss chard, kale, collard greens, microgreens, cabbage, bok choy, they're all great choices. So don't just think you have to be relegated to the kind of stuff that goes into a salad. The darker the leaf, the sweeter the juice, as they say. The juice to power you up. And they are a wonderful source of calcium. So if you are not eating dairy, this is a really good option for you. I'm also a huge fan of sea veggies, and adding them to your lineup also contributes natural collagen and protein, which your joints, skin, hair, and nails will also appreciate, especially as you enter this phase. Number 3 is organic whole soybean products. And the reason I say organic is that soy is one of the most GMO, genetically modified crops in the United States. And when they genetically modify them, they tend to use a whole lot of toxic pesticides. So I prefer that you ignore those and go organic. That way you know you are getting them without the genetic modification. Now, soy is a great thing for balancing low estrogen levels. And because low estrogen levels can make your symptoms worse, these types of phytoestrogen-rich foods, just like what the sweet potato or the yam does for you, are a powerful addition to your diet. And you can go with soy in a variety of different forms. You could do edamame, just those great little soybeans that you pop out of the shell, not just for the sushi bar anymore. You can even get them in the frozen section and just have them as a replacement for fatty chips and other junk food. You can enjoy tempeh, which I feature in my book quite a bit, which is a whole fermented soy product. And you can also enjoy tofu. I would say it's more processed than tempeh. Maybe just not as much. Maybe include that a little bit less frequently. And try and do the other whole, less processed soy products a little bit more. Phytoestrogens are also found in other plant-based foods like chickpeas or garbanzo beans, navy beans, lentils, flax, sunflower seeds, oats, barley, rice, alfalfa, strawberries, raspberries. I'm telling you, there's a lot of options for phytoestrogen-rich foods. And I'll talk about some of those a little bit more in just a few minutes. Number 4 is nuts and seeds. Not only are they a high-energy snack, they're a great way to add flavor and texture to meals. And they're an amazing source of fiber, which again, fiber helps you feel full. So when you are talking about hormones, I'm also talking about the hormones that lead to inflammation and can lead to, let's just say, hangriness, and that is cortisol. When you feel an enormous amount of stress, that means you are overproducing cortisol, and that is a hormone. So lowering that is also part of this balance that we're trying to achieve. That is why skipping meals when you are going through this phase of your life is very, very unwise. You need to keep your blood sugar consistent. And so fiber-rich foods will help with that. They'll help with your metabolism, with your digestion, with helping to feel fuller longer. And nuts and seeds are packed with antioxidants. So they're a great source of omega-3 fatty acids and vitamins B and E, which are great for your skin and your nerves. And God knows we need every last nerve to deal with what we're going through, right? Can I get an amen on that? And so I like to use these as fillers. I call them fat fillers in my book. And that means that you enjoy them in between meals so that your blood sugar doesn't plummet. I like to keep a variety of nuts and seeds at my desk. I'll do a little trail mix, or I'll make a tahini fudge with them. I have a great recipe for that in the book. I'm very known for my date balls, which has nuts and seeds in them, and dates also are full of fiber and help to prevent your blood sugar from plummeting. So that's a great snack with a little bit of natural sweetness. And I also have now for the holidays coming up a great toasted, it's actually a roasted almond recipe, and you could do the same thing for pecans with a variety of different spices. So that's a great one for the holidays. Number 5 is citrus fruit. And let me just tell you, there is something about a lemon, not only the color, which the color yellow is very inviting and uplifting for your mood, very happy color, but because they're rich in antioxidants, they make a great natural detoxifier, which is important to purge your toxins out of your body to keep your hormones balanced. That's why avoiding foods that have a lot of chemical additives, chemical colors, chemical sugars, chemical, pesticides, and all that other junk is out of your pantry. They interfere with your hormones and they can act as obesogens, meaning your body will hold on to fat like never before. And that is not the good kind of fat. So like leafy greens, lemons are really alkalizing. So they help with the body's optimal balance. Just squeeze a little lemon into your water. I slice them up into little discs and put them in the freezer and pop them into my water instead of an ice cube. Adds a lot of flavor, a little fresh mint from my garden. I mean, it doesn't get simpler than that. Just find a way to get citrus into your everyday. Not just lemons, but oranges, grapefruit, mandarins. They're all great. Number 6 is berries. Now, studies have shown that diets high in vitamin C are really effective in managing menopause symptoms. And so I have found a way to get a handful or two of strawberries, blueberries, raspberries into my everyday, whether it's whole, eaten as a snack, maybe with my yogurt, in the middle of the day when I need a little pick-me-up in my smoothie, whatever. I just make sure I get them in. And the other awesome part about this is they're high in fiber, again, and they are low glycemic. So they are sweet, but they won't spike your blood sugar. Do you see a theme here? Everything that I'm picking is about keeping your blood sugar and your hormones balanced. Now, Berries, as I mentioned before, are also natural phytoestrogens. So you can have them in your regular rotation. And enjoying them all year round is really easy. They're very plentiful to find in your freezer. And I wouldn't give your freezer a cold shoulder, no pun intended, or pun intended, but you can actually reap the benefits of frozen berries pretty nicely, because when they're frozen, they're picked and packed at their height of ripeness, versus sometimes when they're picked and they're delivered to us fresh, they're actually picked underripe so that they'll ripen along the way. So when you get them frozen, they're often higher in nutrient density than even buying fresh. So don't worry about getting them frozen, just get them. Get them into your body. Number 7 is plain Greek yogurt. At almost double the protein of regular yogurt, it is such a lifesaver because it is a natural form of protein, that big range of amino acids. And if you're not a meat eater, this is an amazing thing to add into your everyday. And obviously the importance of probiotics is critical. And that is a big part of just managing your hormones during this stage. It's also an amazing source of calcium and vitamin D. And even if you're lactose intolerant, I will tell you, I can't eat a lot of dairy, but I can eat foods like Greek yogurt because the fermentation process digests a lot of the lactose. So it makes it a lot easier to digest without the undesirable side effects. And you know what I'm talking about without having to say it. So Greek yogurt pops up a lot in my book. And I do recommend getting the plain because all of the flavored stuff has a lot of sugar in it and you don't need to add that in. Savory yogurt is delicious. It just takes a little bit of flavor adjustment. You can add strawberries to it. You can add a little bit of low sugar granola to it. Just don't add a lot of sugar to it. And I think once you start to get used to the sour tanginess of it, you'll actually really enjoy it and crave it. Now, if you just really don't want to do Greek yogurt, the regular milk, you can do almond and coconut. There are other calcium-rich, probiotic forward yogurts out there that are made with alternative milks. By all means, just make sure that you're looking at the sugar content, because if they're high in sugar, it defeats the whole probiotic purpose, because sugar is going to introduce bad bacteria and undo everything that the yogurt is supposed to be doing. And you can also find calcium-rich foods like beans, broccoli, the organic soy products that I mentioned, and fatty fish, which I'm about to talk about next. So that is it for the plain Greek yogurt. Let's move on. Number 8 is fatty fish. So fluctuating hormone levels can lead to heart issues. Great. Like we needed another issue, right? And that's where fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines come in. They're also rich in calcium, which we just talked about, very important to help prevent bone loss and osteoporosis as you mature. I'm not going to say age, as you mature through this phase and beyond. And they're delicious. I always have a stock of sardines in my cabinet, in my pantry. And I don't mind the wild caught options that are canned because they're convenient, they're affordable, and they're easy to incorporate into your meals. And I have quite a few recipes in the book that do incorporate canned seafood items. And the fact that they're all wild caught makes them fantastic because they're eating what nature intended. Now, omega-3 rich foods can also come in the form of flax and chia, algae products, walnuts, things like that. So if you don't eat seafood, guess what? You can still get that readily in food and in supplements. You can learn all about the supplements in my downloadable primer, Happy Hormones. Just text Fit Foodie to 22828 to download that. You can also get it off of our website at eatcleaner.com. Number 9 is turkey and chicken. And amino acids are just so important for building muscle and stoking your metabolism so you don't end up with that dreaded menopause which I think we should strike that word from the American language, but